good? What's good? Welcome to my channel, Las Vegas with Ben. I'm here with my guy, Eddie. He out here, man, in Vegas for a cybersecurity conference, and it seems like we always had these conferences. Seem like almost every week, man. But cybersecurity, as we know, like it's a important topic, man. And you know, we facing threats every day from cyberspace, you know, and you know, we hear about the wars that's going on in the world, but what people don't really know about is the cyber wars that's going on in space. So yeah, I'm here with my guy Eddie, and he's gonna talk about it, man. So what's up, Ed?
How's it going? Nice to meet everybody.
How's it going, man? So you enjoying your stay? You in Vegas?
I'm enjoying my stay. I've just been out to Vegas a few times. Appreciating the service from my guy right here, taking me around the town. I appreciate it taking me to the right spots, actually.
Appreciate it.
But you bring up a good point about the wars and everything. Some people will tell you that the war is actually fought on the internet, online, not outside, not in the battlefield. They'll tell you that that's where the real war is at, and where all the, you know, all the privacy and all, you know, for everything that we have, all the data that we need to keep secure, information about you as a person. You know, where do you live, where do you stay, your social, your identification, your family members, your loved ones, where do you work, how much do you make, where does that money go to, where are you depositing your money? All that's information that's being collected and analyzed on a daily basis, even by our own government. But this is information that other bad people would love to get their hands on, because this is the type of analytics that they can utilize and weaponize and do dangerous things. Not just, it could be financial disruption. It could be anywhere from privacy disruption. So the list goes on and on. But yeah, that's what many will tell you, that the war is actually on the internet.
In light of what's going on with President Trump in office now, passing all these tariffs on Canada, tariffs on China, tariffs on Mexico, and he's talking about, you know, naming the Gulf of Mexico the Gulf of America. He's talking about taking over the Panama Canal, and yeah, man. But I feel like all this is happening because it's the war between these two empires, which is China and United States. And now China linked up with Russia, Brazil, India, South Africa, and
Mexico.
And Mexico,
right? China and Mexico are great trade partners.
Exactly. So they forming this organization called BRICS, and they're growing. So in light of what's going on today, what are the challenges are you facing in cybersecurity in terms of what we facing today in this world?
We're definitely seeing the rise of threats. So you see more and more rise of threats. It could be anywhere from social engineering. You might, when I say you, I mean maybe a corporation or a company, but you might get an email or a scam that has you open up an email, and that email can contain a Trojan worm. And that Trojan worm can be a virus that will lock down a system. So think of it as locking down a computer, but for an entire company. And what happens is when it locks down that system, it creates an encrypted key. And so the bad guy has that encrypted key. And what they do is they force organizations into ransomware. So this could also be the military defense. Take all that data and then threat and make any type of sophisticated threat against our defense. So many things could go wrong with this type of data. I'll give a good example of why TikTok, you know, there was so much talk about being banned for TikTok, because it's Chinese owned, and the Chinese government can take all that data and all those analytics and see what we do. What do we like to do? What time do we go out? What do Americans do? What do we eat? Where do we live? Where are we physically located? This is information that is extremely dangerous if it's given into the wrong hands.
Now this information is being used against us.
It's being used against you. Exactly. If you have finances, you know, your finances can be targeted. Your finances can be depleted. So a lot of disruptive things can happen. Very bad things. It can hurt someone for a very long time. I myself have been a victim of not hacking, but my information was stolen before, but it was because a company was breached. So nothing that I could do. That was out of my control.
Okay, so now I'm kind of like change the topic
Sure.
because you know, I know a lot of people that's in cybersecurity was once a hacker. So so I want to ask you, was you once a hacker?
I never was I was never a hacker, but I always did hackable things. We like to call them like honest hacking. So
Okay.
white hat hacking. But I always did things to break into like my own home. Like I always broke into my own internet when I was young. I would do things like break into my friend's social media. I would let's say break codes for PlayStation accounts for my friends. So it was never nothing dangerous, but it was things that I knew that I could be if it was something that I continued to pursue.
So as far as hacking, right? What does it take to become a hacker?
You have to be very skilled, extremely skilled. It's not just about being smart, because you have to know how to maneuver. What I mean by that is if you breached an organization, if you're a hacker, you have to bypass all these systems. So a company is going to have security in place. They may have, let's say multi-factor authentication. They may have firewalls. They have so many things within a company to try to detect these things. So as a hacker, you have to be extremely skilled. You have to be extremely aware of all the new security tools that are out there. You have to be 10 steps ahead of what's out there today, because you have to go undetected. If you are detected, then you are, it's not necessarily the bad guy is caught, but that act is caught, and they can easily be kicked out of the system. And then now it's a fail. Now they failed at breaching your organization. So the key is to go without being detected.
So you talked about authentication, right? And there's another word, I forget the name of it, but it's like authentication. And then what is the other one?
There's another one is authorization.
Authorization. So what's the difference?
The difference is when you're authenticated is telling you who you are, but authorization is what you are authorized to do. So you may be authenticated with your badge when you walk into a hospital as a doctor, but you're not authorized to go into maybe a different emergency room in a different building. You can only be authorized to one emergency room that you're tied to. So that's an example of authorization. Or your house, right? You don't let your kids go in your main room, right? Your master bedroom, that's for the parents, right? So they're not authorized to go there. So there's authentication that proves who you are, and then there's authorized to say what you can do, what you are authorized to do.
So how do you get past the authorization part if you get authenticated?
Once you get past authentication, you have to locate an account that has elevated authorization. So, for example, if my account is hacked at a company, but maybe I'm an admin who doesn't necessarily have access to big IT systems. I don't have access to the CEO's mailbox, for example. However, if I'm an attacker, I'm going after that CEO's mailbox. I'm going after the CEO, because that CEO is a somebody. So we know that that's the type of data that we would need, right? One more time, what was the first question? You said once we get past authentication,
once you get past authentication, how you get past authorization? Yes.
So you have to not get detected, and then you have to try to compromise another account within the organization that's elevated. So let's say if, again, maybe an admin they were breached, but their account doesn't have the authority to log into the tech systems. I'm the tech guy. I have the authorization to log into these tech systems. So now the bad guy is going to do what he can to get to my account. Yeah.
Explain to me what malware.
Malware is software or a program that has bad intentions. That it's out to do bad intentions. It's intent to do malicious activities. It could be anywhere from stealing your data from your machine, causing your machine to crash. One of the biggest or the most popular attacks right now is called ransomware. So what this is, it's malware, and then we'll use this malware as a ransom. So if I'm a hacker and I breach your computer, I will install malware. This malware will encrypt your entire system. And then I have a private key, and I say, you need to pay me X amount of dollars for me to give you the key back for you to gain your data back. I actually experienced this for a company I worked for many years ago. It was a VP. She opened an email because she thought she got a free flight vacation. It was a Trojan malware.
Yeah.
She had access to a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
This spreadsheet it wasn't locally installed on her computer. It was a spreadsheet that was shared across the entire company.
Right.
Because it was accounting. So everyone in accounting was accessing the same spreadsheet. So when she was breached and she got the malware, it spread into everyone else that had access to that spreadsheet. The entire systems were locked down, and actually the company was pretty lucky. They wanted $500. This was early in ransomware. This is early years. The company chose not to pay for it. They ended up rolling their systems back for all their backups. But that's to show you how easily, what malware can do, the type of havoc that it can cause.
Man, so many people getting easily touched, man, on Facebook, Instagram. Especially, they target people like this fucking desperate, poor and whatnot. So every time I see like, oh, you can win, say $1 million, broke person probably open it up, right? Not knowing how can, they can be attacked.
Yes.
So it's like, so how do people protect themselves, man? And
I think it's just self-awareness. Just be very aware. To your point, if someone's reaching out and say, hey, you received $1 million check. If it's too good to be true, then it's just, it's too good to be true.
Exactly.
Very young, out of high school, I worked at a bank where this is not, IT related, but I remember one of the scams where they were giving out fake checks to people. You've won $1,000. Said person would go to the bank, deposit that check, but that check had a tracking number on it. So once the person deposited, now the bad people had access to that banking account. So it's just being self-aware, right? If something like that, if you receive some type of information, or you won a trip on an email, or here's a trip to Vegas, right? You just, what trip did what did I enter to win this trip? Or why was I picked to win this trip? So it's just being self-aware. There's some things that go on that are just too obvious, right? Maybe there's a link that we shouldn't click on if you're online. Make sure that you have your computers up to date. They're updated. If you have a Windows computer, make sure that you always run your updates. Microsoft releases updates every Wednesday, every week. There's no stop. That's on schedule. So you can easily just go to your Windows computer, make sure that you're always updated. Same thing with MacBook. And just be careful where you click. If you're on the internet, if you're on Facebook, we know how sometimes that Facebook Market Watch pops up. Or you may click on a link that was in Facebook. Maybe it's a news article. Unfortunately, there's a lot of fake articles out there on social media, so you may click a link that takes you to a different website. So it's not that Facebook did something malicious. It's that post on Facebook that took you to a different website, where that website is now doing malicious intent. It could be as something as simple as sign up. Sign up for this service so we can help you. Anything that would make you feel like I need help in. Whatever they say to make you open that or click on that link. Okay.
So now let's bring it to why you're here for a conference. What's the name of the conference?
I'm here for a conference called Sales Kickoff. Vegas is actually pretty big for conferences and sales kickoffs. This is the first one I've been to with this company called Delinea Security. Prior to that, I don't know, maybe 6 years. Every year I've been here for the last 6 years with Cisco Systems, a big tech company. If you ever heard of it?
Right, Cisco, yeah. So what are they talking about?
The sales, it's just rah. It's our every year. It's like our pep rally. Here's the new tools. Here's the new marketing. Here's the new, let's go out and sell.
Right. I was hoping you're gonna say something about AI, because
of course,
a lot of these conferences today, man, the main topic is AI. So
the security tool that we sell has AI. If AI is not in it, no customer wants to talk to that company.
Right.
It's almost automatic. You have to have AI in your company now. It's.
And why is that so important? We talked about it earlier, and you brought up something about the enemy, right? How everybody, like, you could be using AI but then the enemy can be using AI as well. Can you kind of
Yes.
talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, so we have to use AI because we know the bad guys are using AI. And so,
Mhm.
as a good guy, when you come out with these tools to stop bad guys, the smarter you become to stop a bad guy, the smarter a bad guy becomes. So it's never ending. One person gets smarter, we catch up to the bad guy continues to get smarter. The bad adversaries, or the hackers, as we should call them, they also use AI to hack. They also use not just AI, but there's also bots on the internet that are rapidly trying to breach organizations. So there's many sophisticated tools out there. And so again, it's just about being self-aware. Don't click on the wrong things. And if it's too good to be true, it's because it is.
So, anything you want to close with?
Sure. So for anyone who's looking to get into tech, tech is a great space to be in, especially cybersecurity. That was the point of topic that we're in. And so I'd say the opportunity is there. Cybersecurity is a great space to be in. Cybersecurity is always a need. As long as there are bad guys out there, cybersecurity will always be a need. And as always, be careful what you click and be careful what you accept.
There you go, man. My guy Eddie. You got like anything you want to lead to
I don't, but I just leave with everyone. Hey, shout out from Texas, man. Much love out here.
Texas in the house, man. You know, he's cybersecurity, man. He can't be revealing this information, man. Yeah. But hey,
All right.
man, thank you for tuning in. I'm with your boy, Eddie, from Texas. He's here for the cybersecurity conference. And we out.
We out.